What's going on, good people? It's your boy James Harris, founder of a movement called Mental Health, which focuses on men's overall wellness, their mental health, physical health, and of course, their emotional health. And I'm also the author of a book called Man Just Express Yourself, which is an interactive planner guide for boys and men to better express themselves. I definitely appreciate all my fellows who went out and got this book as a tool. Congratulations on taking the next step and working on certain issues and things that you want to learn insight about. Salute to my fellow clinicians who got this book and doing interventions or just got it in your lobby as a conversation starter. I definitely appreciate you. And of course, salute to those spouses out there who doing these interventions with their partner over dinner or date night or just having these engaging conversations. I definitely appreciate it. And praises to those parents who got this book for their young sons. You guys are making a difference. I definitely appreciate that. I like to see the feedback that you're leaving reviews or sending me personal messages or emails. I definitely appreciate it. And if you want a copy of the book, make sure you go to Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere books are sold. I definitely appreciate you. On my website also is my board game. Yes, I created a board game called Cheesy Dates, which is pretty much for all type of relationships, whether that's your platonic relationships or your intimate relationships. You can have this at your girls' night, your boys' nights, or adult game nights, and especially, of course, couples' nights. That board game comes with two card decks. One is a date card deck with multiple different date ideas, and then the other card deck is those tough conversations that you need to have within your relationship. Get you thinking, help you increase communication, and of course, there's some pawn pieces that assist you with moving around the board. I definitely appreciate it. So www.mentoheal.com. And if you're new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. And if you've been here for a while, definitely appreciate you. We're monetized now. And so since you've been here, or if you're new here, you know that I interview different guests. And the guest that I got coming up now is
I'm DJ Yella from the world's most famous, dangerous, whatever you want to call it, group NWA. And I'm here. It's been a long journey, a long life, but I'm here, healthy, so I'm good.
That's awesome. I definitely appreciate you coming through. And if you're not familiar with my platform, I just highlight different people. And of course, men within our journey of wellness, mental health, substance use, anything, family, anything
hmm
positive that needs to be put out there so other men can, of course, open and, be comfortable with sharing our journey. So you got a new piece of literature out, man. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
straight out of Compton, my untold stories. It's like my whole life from about 4 to 5 years old, all the way up to 2020, and it came to me over the whole pandemic, a year and a half, and that's when I wrote the book. I never wanted to write the book, never read a book, never nothing. I have no idea about autobiography, nothing, never opened one. So God just gave it to me, and I just wrote it, and that's my testimony.
Nice. So, I'm an author myself, and I think mine came the same way, man. I had no intentions of writing a book, but at about two or three one morning, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write a book, and that's how my journey started. So I'm glad you was on that. Why'd you decide to name it similar to the movie, similar to you guys' platform that you started, the Untold Stories? Like, how'd that come about?
Um, it's all God. I had another title, nothing like this, but right when I got towards finish, that title came to me. Not biting off. I wouldn't say biting off the movie because I'm straight out of Compton. I went to Compton High, so I was there from the beginning, from before the beginning. So I just it just came to me to put that name on it. My untold stories. Not that I'm throwing people under the bus or the tell-all book. That ain't my style. I don't do that kind of stuff. It just came to me. I like I said, I never wanted to write the book, never thought about it, and it just all came to me. The cover, everything.
Yeah. So, I'm early into the book, but it's a couple different pieces in there that
Mm-hmm.
made you think like, oh man, this is gonna be deep. So I'm from Virginia, Richmond to be
Uh-huh.
exact, and we got different
Okay.
lingo. And some that I noticed within your book is you got your soul snatch. So
Yeah.
here, where we are, that means that's more of a sexual experience.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you're alluding to within your book and your journey?
I didn't want to go into detail, but just something happened when I was, I don't know how old, 10, 11. I mean, I was a kid. And it's just like, you know, me, my mother worked all day. They got divorced after all the 9 kids, they got divorced. So my father was on the other side of town. So I had nobody to talk to because all my brothers are older. And, they out with their friends. So, brothers really don't hang, not back then, especially when we're 2 years apart, all of us. And it just, something happened and just like, who can I go to ask about it or like, but I didn't let it destroy me. I just, it started something new, it started the women, started that crave for women, but it was just something just happened. And I try to briefly touch it, you know, just to let people know if things happen to you, you can survive off of that, whatever it is.
Yeah. I would agree with you. Different people have different within our resilience levels that the way they process and handle different events. I mean, being from Compton, man, I'm sure you've seen a lot of things. Like, what were
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that you've seen growing up that you felt that you were able to process and still prosper from?
Um, and growing up, Compton just another ghetto. There's ghettos in every city all around the world. They all the same, just different names. And I just seen that, sometimes in the ghetto, some people never leave together. That's all they know. I never was one of them kind of person. I wanted to get out. Even though our ghetto wasn't the project ghettos, just a little bit different. It was still the ghetto, but not the project. And I always moved forward, always thought ahead, trying to do something different, trying to do something different. I don't want to be like a lot of people, just be stuck, drugged out, alcohol, whatever it is. I just kind of, and for nobody not to be teaching me anything. I had to do this all on my own. I had to go down this road that I went through a life basically on my own. My mother worked from 3 to 11. Once we get out of school, she's at work. So, I'm by myself, so it's, it was hard, but, I didn't want to be stuck in the ghetto. So I just had a drive to go forward. I didn't know what it was, but I just had a drive to go forward.
So would you say, I guess it sounds like you said it wasn't a lot of mentors, it wasn't a lot of opportunities, so you found ways to be creative and create your own opportunities. Is that how you found music and, stayed away from, I guess, the deviant acts or didn't get caught if you were a part of those deviant acts?
Um, I had a normal childhood, play football, baseball in the street, so it was normal. Gangs wasn't infested. I grew up in the 70s. So gangs wasn't infested till the 80s, maybe mid 80s or whenever it was. And I just, I had there was no mentor. I was my own mentor. And, who am I? I don't know nothing. And it just, I always been kind of ahead of the game somehow, just like a step ahead. And I just try to create stuff, try to think of stuff. It was just like I was just one step ahead a lot. I mean, it was crazy.
What is it that you want people to take away from your book? I mean, a lot of people, probably everybody within my platform and my circle, have seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything differently that they're going to obtain from the book?
Oh, it's. I mean, my book. I made it not for money. I made it. It's my testimony to show how good God is. That even a bad sinner like me I mean, I'm thinking I'm one of the worst sinners besides Judas. You know, I feel like I'm the bad sinner, but even he loved me. You know, after all the girls, all the stuff I did, and it's my journey. But NWA, the World Class Wrecking Crew, all this, Easy's death, all this happened to be in my journey. So it's all in there. It's a lot of missing pieces that I kind of feel. The movie only did so much. The movie only covered a few people's characters. You know, my character wasn't covered in the movie, basically, not really. So, but I didn't do it to like, oh, they didn't talk about me that much in the movie. I'm gonna make a book. No, I just gave my whole story. And it just happened to go to that journey. People will learn a lot. It's a lot of things, you know, I don't try to brag on that I did before a lot of people did. It's crazy.
No, I got you. So within the movie, and then I guess within your book too, you do highlight the fact that you were promiscuous. You know, you were with a lot of
that was
women.
my drug.
You were active. So why do you feel that you were that much promiscuous, or that you needed to engage in sexual activity as much as you do or did?
No reason. That's what I loved. I love women. I mean, you know, that was my thing. Women, and then later on, buying things. That was my thing, because all that led to something in 2010. But you got to read the book. I don't want to tell you the story, but it takes you on a up, down. I mean, it takes you on a heck of a journey. And that was my drug. You know, some people was drugs, some people was alcohol, this, gambling, betting, whatever it is. Women, that was my thing. I wasn't obsessed with it. I just like women.
No, I understand. So have you personally, have you ever felt the need to, I guess, go to therapy or talk to somebody on a different level on why you processed or why you didn't handle certain things in a different way? Specifically with the women, like, you know, the spending habits, the lifestyle that you had, of course, grieving or not grieving, the death of Eazy-E and stuff like that. Have you ever felt that you needed to process, or you just continue to endure?
I just did my thing. It wasn't an issue. It just, that's the way I live. You know, it just, okay, that's what I do. Money come in, I spend it. I do this, I do that, and all that until 2012, when I changed my life completely. When God came and got me, because I was not looking for God at all. Didn't know nothing about him. Nobody ever ministered to me, nothing. And by the time I got to that, because I went homeless in 2010. I'm not trying to tell you too much of the story, but I went homeless in 2010 for 3.5 years. And I ended up getting saved in the middle of that, in the middle of being homeless. And then once he came and got me and I committed, I have not looked back since. And it's been almost 9 years. In November, it'd be 9 years. So I had to go through all this journey, all this, hit the bottom, and then hit the bottom more, and then my life had to change around and come out on the other side.
Yeah. No, you definitely have an interesting testimony, interesting journey, and like I said, I'm early within the book, but
yeah, okay.
it's a couple things in there. I'm like, oh man, this is because again, like the movie was amazing, but like you said, they were only to, highlight and dictate certain things within the budget, within the characters and things like that. So, how's your relationship now with the rest of the guys?
Oh, we good. We don't just call and talk to each other. I mean, text, here and there, because everybody just doing their own thing. And it's been like that for quite a few years. Nobody was never mad. Even during the breakups or the Cube leaving us up, nobody was mad at each other. It never was nobody mad. The group was a circle. Everything in there was cool. It's just the outside circle, people looking in, whatever they can come up on or whatever they saying in people's ear. That's what drove the group away. That's what I think. It wasn't the inside ourselves, it was the outside people.
Okay, I seen a recent video. Well, probably not so recent, but you and Young Easy
or Lil Easy. I
Oh
guess
yeah, Lil Easy. Yeah, yeah.
you guys are still touring and hanging
Oh
out
yeah,
and stuff
that
like
was
that.
just last week.
Okay, how you think that relationship has developed with you mentoring, I guess, or being a part of his life, being that you didn't have certain mentors when you were growing up?
I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, because he reminded me of his daddy so much. His mannerism, his just the way he do stuff, the sound. I'm like, boy, you look and sound like your daddy. You may be a little bigger than your daddy, but you sound just like it. But you know, it feels like he's a son to me. You know, because I call him son sometimes. I have to son him sometimes. But it just feels like a son. It's crazy. Man, his daddy was on stage, and now the son. I mean, wow, that's great.
It is. I think that's also, a part of that generational wealth, that generational legacy. We're in a position that we can do that. And fortunate enough, he's in a position that he still got you to be able to assist with those things when he need. Do you think the industry itself can do a better job of assisting newer artists or younger artists with financial literacy, mental health support, just different things like that you feel that you wish you probably would have had or known a little bit more of?
Well, in our case, my case, we was young. We was talented, young, but we didn't know anything about the music industry. I mean, like when you read the book, you'll see mistake after mistake after mistake. Publishing, producer credits. I mean, artist money, writers, public. Just so much. And the key, because I try to teach that in the book too. Try to tell from my mistake, like you need a lawyer. I ain't talking about a manager. We talking about a lawyer that knows what to read, know what to do. So nowadays, people, you can Google anything. You can YouTube, University of YouTube. You can go find anything you want, but they need to be educated. You need lawyers. It's a different game now because you're not selling actual pieces. It's just downloads and streams and all like that. So it's a whole different market. But the key is a lawyer. That's your first, not friend, but that's what the first thing you need. If you're doing any kind of business with anybody, paperwork. You got to have paper. If you're not on paper, you're gonna get lost.
So you guys got so many timeless classic songs. I think you guys are also in the Hall of Fame, which is an awesome feat. But the timelessness of the music, like even after Police, if we look now, it's still situations to where people can actually say after Police, they feel like we're still not being heard, we're still not being validated and things like that. So how do you feel that your music or any type of music within any genre will continue to transcend and be a message and a voice for people?
I mean, because it's just amazing that our music still talking about it 30 years later. 30 years later. In the Police song, the thing about it, we didn't create the Police song. That situation was created before us from the 70s and the 60s. The Police stuff, that been going on forever. But the thing about it is still going on. They just happen to start catching them a little bit, with their body cams and everybody got a phone, but it's still there. Back then, we did the song that everybody wanted to do. They wanted to point the finger at the cops and say that F you. But nowadays, they in their face doing it, and it's a totally different world now. We couldn't do that back then because you will be taken away somewhere and beat down. So, but our music, I guess, was just ahead of its time or something because it's still in time now, which is amazing.
Yeah. No, it's definitely awesome to witness, So do you got any thoughts of turning your book into a docu-series or anything like that, or what's your plan?
Maybe. I mean, if somebody approached me and, want to do some kind of TV series, whatever they want, Netflix or something, because I think it's a lot of story in there. It's just like, wow, this guy had all these, seem like different lives. Because music, adult movies, now an author, then a deacon in the church. In the future, I'm gonna be a preacher. So it's like you go from one extreme to the other. It's like, wow.
So I mean, that was, I guess you led into that transition, but so the adult film industry, you had a healthy collection.
Yeah.
Like what made you decide to join that part of entertainment? I mean,
It was
I know you touch on like you were actively, doing these acts. So was it a situation where you was like, hey, well, let me just start filming them? Or how'd that come about?
Well, that I remember a buddy of mine's called Big Man, named Big Man. He asked E first, said, "You want to do movies?" E never answered him. So when he came to me, yeah, okay, because I looked at it as producing songs of music. So I went out and bought the cameras, the still cameras, the computers, lights, everything to be needed. But I went in as business, not as, ooh, I get to see the girls. I can't. No, I went in as business. So I went in that business. I did it for 15 years, over 350 movies. But I didn't get full into it until the day we buried E. Once we buried him and I was left there with just a couple of people on the funeral, everybody left. Right then I said, I'm done with music. Just that quick. I didn't think about it. It's like I just done. And I haven't done music since. And I just started putting my face and the name on the movies. I never was in the movies, but I filmed them, everything for 15 years, 350 movies at least.
Yeah. So I mean, dang, man, within the transition now, I know you, of course, full pledge in your spirituality, religion, and things like that. Mm-hmm. How do you feel that, religions can be one of those things that are.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about religion is man-made. It's man-made, so it could be you do it this way. That's why I don't have religion. I have a relationship with Him. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it's about. They do it here. Or you got to bow your head 90 times. That's man-made. Man mess up everything.
and that was part of my question because
I'm jumping ahead.
No, you good. You good with it because religious folk can be judgmental and they can
be the biggest hypocrites.
So of course, your previous lives, and they can, even though they're in the same space with you, they can have those, perceptions or those thoughts of.
Matter of fact, just over this weekend, we did a show in LA. And I had my guy with me go live, on Facebook. So, during my show, I cuss. But outside of the show, I don't cuss at all. Not even an accident. And then somebody from the church, ain't he saved? And this. Then I told him just yesterday, I said, something, I'm going to nip this quick. No more live feed for the show. This is my job. It's like acting. When I hit that stage, I'm this way. I get off. I'm regular. I'm back to normal. So that's just like an actor. When actors in a sex scene or cussing or killing, it's just acting. That's all it is. This ain't my life.
No, I got you. So what are some of the things you're doing these days, man, for self-care? I know you're still performing, still on the road, but what else are you doing?
I'm in the, trying to be in the gym. I just came from the gym earlier today, trying to eat right. My relaxation is just going out, getting the leaves up or sweeping up around the house. That's my relaxation. Because I'm by myself. I'm just kicked back, lay back. I don't do too much. I don't go out, very many places. So I'm just hanging in there, trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. So for the people who probably enjoy the movie so much and probably want to get this book personally, where you think is the best place for them to get it?
The book is Straight Outta Compton, My Untold Story, Amazon, paperback, or ebook, or I'm just working on the hardback copy. And then if you want the autograph ones, which I personally send out, I've been sending them all around the world. And that's at Yella of NWA.com. And you can just order right there and it'll be there in a few days.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll get all your information. I'll make sure I attach it to the video.
Oh, okay.
Because I think, a couple of people probably want that, that autograph
Yeah.
signature on it, man. That's part of history. So
Yeah, I got a perfect ad that you can post it in there. Oh, got everything on it.
yeah. So I definitely get that from you once we're done here.
Yeah.
And the book journey, man, is definitely a healthy and fulfilling one. So I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Because mine was a similar, man. I jumped out there and it took off as much as I didn't foresee it, but I'm glad it's prospered as much as it did. And that's how we're here now with the YouTube. And, this is monetized now. So I'm just trying to give people different insight, because this is a young boy right now sitting at the table just thinking about being in the industry. And he can hear this and hear like, oh, if Yellow made it, I can make it. Or these are some of the things, so I'm
because that's a tough industry, boy. That entertainment field is something else.
Okay, yeah. So, if you wasn't doing music, what is it that you probably would do?
Something, I just go as God tell me. He told me to write the book, I write the book. He told me to write a script, I got a script already finished, in the can, waiting for me to finish with the book and probably some kind of YouTube, not YouTube, Netflix or whatever off of the series, book, and then the movie script, and then I'm gonna be a preacher. That's it.
Okay, so
it's already in me to be one.
So you already got the outline. So the book is, you can put a check by the book. Now you got the script for the series or the movie, and then preacher. Church gonna be located in Cali.
Yeah. Because right now I go to one. It's the only one I know in Harbor City. So I'm a deacon in the church. Me, a deacon. But like we said earlier, the hypocrites are in church. They point the finger. They don't get it. The key is God has got to be first in your life. Now I tell people, nothing should come between the top of your head and Him. Not kids, not wife, not bills, nothing. Not even yourself. If you put Him first and keep your mind on that prize, the prize is Him. Man, I have not looked back since being homeless almost 9 years ago.
Okay, so within your experience of being homeless, coming from millions of dollars to
up there, to
nothing.
Zero.
Like, how was that transition for you? Like, how do you feel? Like, how did you maintain your sanity, your tenacity to keep going? Like, what was that about?
You know what it was? I didn't know anything about God at the time. I wasn't looking for Him during these homeless days. I just I put myself here because I spend. Okay, it'll come back. I spent, then it stopped coming back. So, happened almost anything I wanted, houses, cars, boats, yachts, all the stuff, and then having nothing. But you know something? I never said once, God, why are you doing this? Never. I didn't know you could talk to God at all. So I had no idea. And I just took it. I didn't. A lot of people kill themselves and stress out and all. Me, I put myself here. I can't blame nobody but me. And that's it. I got to go forward. That's all. I have never stressed in my life.
So I guess admittedly, though, you feel that your homelessness came from you just not having a financial literacy or just not maintaining your money well as you could.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it come in. Which color do I want? I'm gone.
Okay.
Like you got all them shoes. That's how I had cars.
Hey, that'll happen to you. I definitely appreciate your transparency within this video. Like I said, it's going to reach a lot of people and it's going to help a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people still to this day, regardless of age, don't understand the importance of financial literacy. So I'm glad you was able to say, listen, I had all of this, then I had nothing, and now I'm building back, which is a good thing. So within that transition, though, you like you said, you were able to continue to prosper and continue to know that more was coming for you. So how was you able to do that? Was it just based on your will, your drive, or would you say it was definitely that higher power looking out for you?
Oh no, it was definitely. But once I got homeless, God didn't allow nobody to help me. I could have just called Dre, hey Dre, or Q, nobody. He didn't allow anybody. So when I came unhomeless, when God gave me my wife's name, then we got married 10 months after I got saved, just 10 months. And she had a 1-bedroom apartment. I was unhomeless then, and I just, okay, God, what you to do? He told me to DJ. I never wanted to DJ again since the 80s. And since then, I have been to 100 countries in the past 4 years. Over 100 countries. Korea, Vietnam, Bali, Sri Lanka, all over Australia, UK, Europe, China, Japan. I mean, if you could pick a place on the globe, I've been there. But it's all from him.
That's awesome.
I didn't dream this. I didn't plan it. He gave it to me and I ran with it. He gave me the wife's name. I ran with it. That's what I do. So right now he gave me the book. I'm running with it.
So it sounds like your wife was a major support system. Like, and I it's a
well, a wife could be a wife. They could be a knife sometimes. But no, he gave me, I would have picked somebody else, what I like, but he gave me what I needed, which was we grew from the bottom and grew up together. So that's how I know it was God, because he gave it to me and was the right person. I couldn't push over her.
I got you. So, I mean, it sounds like she's a strong woman if she took you from there, got you where you are now, and she don't let you push her over, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Relationships are healthy. How long you guys?
Because, the Bible says you find a wife, that's a good thing. That's a great thing, because the two is one. Two is better than one. And it's just strong, you just, man, it just, woo, I'm good.
She traveled with you as well?
No, that I don't do because, that's business. You can't eat into the profits, all these extra tickets. They already paying for me to go there, paying for my flights, paying for whole, let's not eat up the profit.
No, I got you. I mean,
but she be wanting to go, trust me.
Okay. Anything else you want to leave with the people before we wrap it up? I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh no, get the book, not just to buy a book, but a person might get something out of it. They see this journey that it goes to a journey that you never would know it went to. Like, it just like, you would think, okay, it's going this way. It takes turns and ups and downs, I was just like, I just told it in order of my life. This is just how, not to say, oh, I started this, oh, I did this first. No, it was just, this is just what happened. This is what happened. The cube left, the breakup, easy death, it just went. When I got saved, everything, it just all flows in a row.
Okay. Go ahead, drop your social media handles, your website, and things like that, so people can catch up with you and follow you.
Okay.
See you on this amazing journey of DJing. It got a little easy with you.
Yeah. My Facebook and Instagram is DJ Yella of NWA. Both of them is like that. Twitter, I really don't. I have a Twitter, but I never go on it. I can't get into Twitter because the Twitter at first was no pictures and all that. But yeah, that's my Facebook, and then go check the book out. Amazon all day long. Ebook, paperback, and hardback coming soon, or the autograph ones, DJYellaofNWA.com. And there's only one book on there, so it ain't hard. You ain't got to pick international or US.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to, I'm going to put all this within the description of the video.
Yeah, I'm going to send you that in the email.
Yep. So listen, man, it definitely was a pleasure to have you.
Oh, no, it's an honor. It's an honor. Man, come on, man. It's an honor. That we still talking about stuff 30 plus years.
That's legacy, and I'm on that wave, man. I want people to look back at my platform and all that I'm doing 30 plus years and say, to my daughters, oh man, your dad, he started it, so it's a good position to be in. So definitely appreciate you coming through, and I'll be sure to, plug all of your information.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's an honor. Like I said, it's an honor.